to Golden Fears. My name is John Forward. I am the producer / great nephew of this show. In mere moments' time, my great aunt Edna and her friend Taffy are going to be joining me to discuss 2024's The Substance. A lot of buzz for this movie. I saw it in theaters and very much enjoyed it. But that being said, when I saw it the first time, I didn't really know a whole lot about it other than this trailer. So when Edna and Taffy get in here, I usually just let rip. So spoiler alert. If you're planning on watching this movie, I suggest you watch it first, and then you can kind of watch this afterwards as kind of a debriefing session. So the IMDb plot of this movie says a fading celebrity takes a black market drug, a cell-replicating substance that temporarily creates a younger, better version of herself. So, yeah, I already saw this movie in the theater, but I signed up for a free trial of Mubi to watch something else, and this was on there, and my clock was ticking before I had to start paying for this thing. So, wanted to get some use out of it. Wanted to see what the ladies thought of this one. Without further ado, Edna and Taffy, come on in.
What they used to say on that, John on your lawn.
The little hidey ho.
No, remember they used to do that when he did that on the radio. John on your lawn,
Small
like
John
the gnome.
On your lawn.
Remember
right.
that?
Like a gnome.
Did you do that?
Are you on the lawn?
Yeah, he did.
He's okay.
He did. Look at him. He knows he did.
I'm not on the lawn right now.
This is, how are you, Taffy?
Well, I'm doing pretty good. Doing all right. Gotta just.
You gotta
Talking to the microphone.
a colonoscopy.
Yeah. Don't tell him. He might.
Jonathan, don't tell anybody.
Don't listen, Jonathan.
Don't tell
Your
anybody.
secret safe with me.
So I've been having the scoots. But other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Well, that's
doing
good.
pretty
That's
good.
Taffy.
Doing pretty good.
No scoots for me.
No, that's good. That's good. We traded places.
Yeah. What are you rocking around
I'm
over
all
there?
getting myself situated.
You're gonna fall out of your seat.
I'm not gonna.
You know, that would be a real shame. He died. Jonathan. He doesn't. Do you have insurance for that kind of thing?
No, this is
insurance for that. I'm not gonna
small
sue.
operation.
What are
Okay.
you talking about?
Well, yeah. This is what's the show?
Golden Fears.
Golden
Substance.
Fears. Golden Fears, where we watch that's a tongue twister.
That was a lot.
The Substance. It's
It won an award.
did it?
Yeah.
Did it win the Gross Award for grossing?
It won the best award
Grossing,
for longest movie
the best gross
of the year.
Best gross.
best
that's
movie.
Best movie.
The yucky. There's ketchup all over the floor right away.
Yeah, it got right on the star there in the Walk of Star.
Well, there's a famous lady, and she has do you know what was her show? It wasn't like this show.
She was on the show where she was in the army.
Dancing.
No, she did the show where she was on the army and she shaved her head. Remember
that was G.I.
Her
Jane.
head was all shaved off, but you know what? She was some pretty, and she still was.
She will until certain times. But yeah, but in the movie she went on TV with her swimsuit, and they was
Oh, in the movie.
Dancing.
Yeah, she did that. Yeah, she had a show where they do. Remember how they used to do the exercise shows on the TV?
I used to. I don't think I could do these exercises. I blow
Well,
my,
the new
blow
ones.
My, blow
The
my,
new ones
blow
were right
my,
out the
below my
lunch.
back. Right. These exercise shows. I don't know if this
They were
is.
going all over.
It's good. Good.
Squatting
to,
and
it's good to,
squawking and squirking.
to pump
Twerking.
pump up your
Pump up the
lower
jam, remember?
lower parts at the camera.
Yeah,
That's
that
not
was
a good
a lot.
exercise.
I don't know about that one, but
Some good parts.
yeah, they were dancing and going.
But yeah, I used to
I had to take notes because this friggin' movie. Jonathan,
used to have
Yes.
How do you
Suzanne
watch-
Summers. I used to the Thigh Master. I had one of those.
yeah, it was like that. If you ever seen that, that's
It's
what this
just-
was
this
for
is-
about 2 hours.
Is this movie based on the Thigh Master?
I think it was.
It's a
Okay.
remake of Thigh Master.
I don't know.
They make a movie out of everything
Edna,
these days.
These movies that he's making us watch are 7 hours long.
Well, it was a long. We had to
put down my notes.
2.5.
to stop in the middle to have a little bit of lunch.
We had pizza.
We had pizza delight.
Leftover pizza. Wasn't
Pizza
that good?
delight.
Wasn't that good? They got the best donair
Joe-
sauce.
Jonathan here, he's the best little caterer for his guests.
He is a good boy.
Nothing but the
He's a good
leftover pizza.
Edna, he's a good boy.
Yeah, he's a nice boy.
Thank you, Ed.
But
How come that microphone got a number carved into it? Where'd you get that, Edna? Is that somebody else's phone number
It's
here?
used.
Oh, I don't
Let's
know.
call it.
I got a used mic.
620.
That's the
Six.
tracking.
Where'd you get that? You buy that out of somebody's trunk, Edna?
That's, this microphone looks like it was in jail, and that was
Might have
his
been.
prisoner number.
Might have been in one of those jail shows.
He was in jail for
Ever seen that Oz show?
for lewd radio shows.
Probably.
And yeah, Jonathan, what's the number? It's okay.
They tracking.
So
I
the
don't know.
lady has a dancing and shaking her butt show,
Mhm.
and but her boss, first thing, she went in the wrong bathroom, and that's what you get.
Well, now Edna, she
Edna,
really had to go.
She
That's
went
different.
She went
That's
into
not-
the man's
She
bathroom.
had to go.
And then the man went in, and they've got their locker room talk that and
He needs his
the
mouth washed right out.
men needs he shouldn't be saying those terrible things
Shouldn't be thinking it.
to a lady, but a man needs a place
No,
where
they-
he can say.
Reconnect
But-
like a right pig.
But he was saying that he wants a young and hot. He's peeing on the toilet. He's peeing in the toilet, and he wants it young
She's
and hot.
young and hot. She's only 50 in this movie. Now you tell me.
Elizabeth Sparkles.
That was her name on the show. Isn't that a cute
just
name?
a beautiful woman.
She was a beautiful lady. Just
And
statuesque.
she's still
She can get it.
dancing and shaking her butt like nobody's business.
I think she shouldn't even have to do that. I don't know why you would.
Oh well.
You got money like that? I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be up there dancing.
Well, we don't. Yeah, we don't have a star on the Hollywood Walk
Not
of
yet.
Fame yet.
Not yet.
No.
Not
Someday.
yet.
But maybe with Golden Fears,
You never know.
There'll be a star, and
Sometimes
we'll
things on
walk,
the
and
internet, you
hopefully
get
nobody
famous.
drops their cheeseburger on her
Sometimes
star.
you get faint. Well, I could drop a cheeseburger right here.
But this made me, because I'm no spring chicken. And maybe Jonathan, did you pick this movie because I went back to my original hair color?
No, Edna, it looks
He's-
really
I think
nice.
he's-
Oh yes,
Because I
got your hair
Tell her in the
done.
comments.
I still
great.
can. I decided to
Looks
stop
good.
dyeing it blonde,
Yeah,
and
we had someone
I
write in.
didn't get a new perm.
Great.
We had somebody write in and say, Edna, why don't you
They
you
say
try
mean
something
things
new?
on the internet. They say,
They
Edna,
weren't
your hair
mean.
doesn't look real.
Oh,
And
Edna.
I'm real.
Edna.
And,
We know, baby.
this
real.
makes am I too old for to do the radio show?
Of course
No,
you're not.
no.
Are they? Do I gotta take the green needle? And
No.
Taffy,
green
are you
needles.
my substance double?
Oh my! I
The
never
younger,
even thought of that. Never even thought of that.
younger, more beautiful version of me.
Oh, stop it!
need the
If
combo.
anything, you're the
I don't want
the
Taffy.
substance of me.
We don't want to have to take turns.
Well, we're the same-
Jonathan.
we're the same time.
We're a
We're the
package
same
I
deal.
know.
time.
We need both.
And
we need both.
this man,
for
Jonathan, he was eating shrimps and he was telling us.
I saw that. That was. I didn't care much for that stuff in those shrimps right in his face. He's got butter all over. He said you got to stop when you're 50. Didn't much care for that. Tell you that.
That ship sailed. That's for sure.
And he's just putting more shrimps. I didn't even see. Here's what I didn't understand now. Let me tell you this. There was just a pile of dead shrimps. And I don't remember him even taking out a piece of the shrimp and eating the part that you
ate. I
just
think
looked like he was taking the shells and just
he was eating the shells, and he was just throwing it on the table.
right on the table. Imagine
and
that.
It's a good thing, that the camera is not just right up in our face while I'm sipping on my tea. They'll be slurping all over, ruining that good equipment.
What you got in that teacup there?
I got a chia pet tea.
Picky brand.
This
PC.
President's Choice.
President's Choice flavor.
Yeah, they don't like the President's Choice anymore.
Well,
but
Edna, don't get me on that.
But,
Edna, don't get me going on that.
Get going.
Then he was eating his shrimps, and then his friend came and he said, "Hey,"
and he just got up.
Bobby,
Didn't even pay her nothing.
And he said, "I gotta go." And then they left the restaurant, and she's just left there, and she got a bunch of shrimp carcasses all over the table.
Never even seen the like of that in my whole life.
Shrimp. So Lizzie Sparkles, she's driving home, and she seen on the billboard
they ripped her face
show.
right off the
They ripped her face right off
the damn,
and then add an insult to injury. A big truck goes boom into the side of her.
Oh yeah, I forgot
in the
about
car, and she flips, and she go to the hospital, and that's a sin in there. And
it's her birthday.
On her birthday, she had to go to the hospital.
Can you imagine?
It's America. It cost $80,000 million
well, she's famous,
to go.
Edna. That's why she got to go to the hospital in the first place.
But she was okay. But
she turned out okay, and there was a nurse, a male nurse,
man nurse, a man,
and he was
nurse.
handsome.
I'm not comfortable with that.
Oh, Edna. He's fine. He knows what he's doing.
They don't know.
He knows what he's doing.
They're rough.
Oh, he looked pretty gentle if you catch my drift.
And
you
don't need a boy.
So
you just peeking in back of that little hospital robe.
How you doing? And he gives her the coat. And she gets something in her coat.
Did he get her that yellow coat? That was a nice coat.
No, she had that coat. I think she had that.
Okay.
And then, but the pocket, she goes like this.
Yeah, the old,
and she pulls out. There's a thing in her pocket, right? And it's Jonathan, you know what that is. It's the thing like this, and you go in your computer, and you have to do it 3 times because the first time doesn't go.
A CSB.
You turn it over,
USB.
and it doesn't go, and then you turn it back, and it goes.
The CSB.
He'll tell you. He knows what it is.
No, okay. No, don't pull on them.
Oh.
Don't pull on them.
How come I don't pull on it?
Don't pull. But she put the machine in the TV, and she watched a little video that I remember at the start of the movie. We thought that the sound was broken because it was. I don't like music. It when the movie's quiet for too long. You don't know if the TV's broken or if you need to if my hearing is going.
Yeah, I was turning it up.
They had an egg.
Little eggs. I like a double yolk egg. That would be that.
Sometimes you get a double yolk.
I like a double yolk. That's good luck.
But this was different though, because it just was the egg, and then they put the Gatorade in the egg, and then it made 2 eggs. So Demi Moore sees this, and she gets to thinking
is something awful.
And she gets to thinking, oh, geez, I'm getting myself backed up because she reads the newspaper. And she sees that they're gonna give her they're gonna have an audition for her job
to be the new Elizabeth
and
Sparkles.
So then she's like,
"Do you think I could be the audition for the new Elizabeth?"
Definitely.
They
said right in there,
18 years old to 30 years old.
And I couldn't do that either.
You could pass.
And she got the thing right, so she goes. She
watches
says,
the little.
I better go get my egg split.
Thing.
Then
the egg.
She goes to this place, all right? She called the phone number, and then she goes to the place. And let me tell you, I got to tell you this. If this was me, that movie'd be done right there because the little door comes open about this much.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be doing that.
My back, I couldn't be climbing down
I'd
under
be like,
there.
oh, well, guess I'm old and fired now.
Well, no,
we don't
need a new. We're gonna be me and you, Taffy, on this show.
Ride or die. That's what the kids say. Yeah, they do.
I don't want. That's not nice.
They do that. No, because you keep riding.
But I liked when her old friend Fred from 10th grade homeroom. Isn't that nice when you run into somebody from the old days?
And he says you're just as beautiful as ever there was.
Oh, and she
was so sweet.
Yeah, it was so sweet. But Elizabeth Sparkles at that she didn't. She was
kind of grossed out.
She was I don't know.
A little bit of a B word. If I'm being honest, not to be harsh. Well, I'm not trying to be harsh, but she wasn't very nice to him.
But on the way, but later she dug the little CSB out of the trash and called the number, and they delivered, and she climbed under the little door, and she got her box, and then this was a complicated medical procedure, but there wasn't a lot of instructions.
No, and she opens the box and there's a whole bunch of needles and friggin' medical stuff going. Big string. You're thinking, what's that going to be for?
Things. Just
holy Moses!
I wrote. It says, "Remember, you're the one."
Yeah, said that. Didn't really get that.
Activate, stabilize, and switch, and that's it. And you're just supposed to know. You gotta put the Mountain Dew in the thing, and you stick it, and all the tubes, and so she squirted the green juice into her arm. And I'd have a hard time finding the nurse. Sometimes finding even the girl nurses. Sometimes they have a hard time finding the veins.
She probably knows how to do it. And so the next things, she's like, "Oh, whatever, that's not that bad." But then she starts flailing all over the place, and you look at her eye, and her eye does 2 eyes.
She fell down on that hard
clunked her
floor.
Right out.
She didn't have her medical bracelet on.
And then I had a hard time. I didn't watch all of this part because I kind of had to. It was kind of gross. She crawls right out. It's all crawling around under her skin. She's just going crazy.
Well, she's in there. Her eyeballs going.
Yeah, her eyeballs
crazy.
went into 2 eyeballs, but in the one eyeball hole. And then she crawls right out of her back. Her friggin' back goes right open.
Split right open, and it crawls.
I never saw the like of that in my whole life. And then you're like, oh, that's what the sewing's for.
So sore. And yeah, then she stands, and why didn't they have any clothes on? She could have had.
Well, she was getting in the shower.
She could have had a tasteful hospital gown, and the back parts open for when the split and the baby sparkle comes out. I think
she was getting in the shower. That's why. Well, because you gotta let her out.
You can just her boobs and her bum all hanging out.
Oh, there's boobs and bums all over this movie. Every movie that your nephew, Jonathan.
There's too many boobs.
I'm watching you because every movie that you're showing us has got boobs, bare naked ladies in it for one thing. Then this one. Oh, just from the behind a bare naked man.
We saw a man's bum. There's no dingle dongs.
Not this time.
No dongs.
No, so the young Sue pops out of her back, and then she Taffy, do you think you could sew up a big open hole in her back with a little hook and a thread?
I could do it. But here's what I was thinking, Edna.
You're always sewing.
Was just born.
I couldn't.
That girl was just born, so she did pretty good for thinking about, think about what I did when I was just born. Not much. Cried, I guess.
Yeah, give a needle and thread to a little baby,
they
and
can't sew up a back.
Don't do it. Don't give it. Don't.
They can't sew nothing.
No.
So she was just born, and she did a pretty good job for being someone that's just born, I think.
Yeah, she sewed her up, and she got out the other needle with all the little pieces, the little Legos in it. And I just how does she know? They're just like, here's the needle, and here's some little containers. So little baby Sue says, just okay, better jam it in the hole and suck it out, because that's probably what I need. It's the instructions that it wasn't very good instructions.
No, weren't too much.
But she light
on the instructions.
And then Sue, she looked at her boobies and bum for
that was a lot. I found that a bit excessive.
That makes. I mean, it didn't need to be in the movie, but
I would.
If I woke up from a nap and I was all, everything was back where it was when I was a girl, I'd take a look at it probably.
Yes, you could. Yeah, I guess you could.
I'd probably. But me and Edna and Taffy don't need to take a look. It's just, but Sue, she can look.
She just came alive though. She's just born.
The camera.
Oh, you mean us watching the movie?
Yeah, we don't need to. Sue wants to look at her boobs and butts, but Edna and Taffy didn't need to.
You didn't have to look.
I was peeking. I was peeking.
She gets bashful
because it's important for the movie. And she has to make sure that she's got the right boobs and butts so that she can go to the audition.
I'm tired today, holy.
Because you can't go to the audition and you get to the audition and be like, oh, whoops, I've only got one boobie. You got to make sure before you go.
You need both.
Yeah, that's a good point, Edna. Does that ever happen to you? You get up and you only got one titty?
I never got
one titty hanging out. Maybe
I never got any audition. I just.
I thought weren't you on the shows in Vegas? Probably didn't have to audition. They just picked you right out the crowd.
Yeah, they
picked you right
just,
off the farm. Probably
the van pulled up, and then you were on your way to stardom.
Hollywood, bright lights, dancing and shaking.
And she went, and there was some more mean guys there, and they were saying mean things about the lady before.
I've had about enough of them. Said they
wanted to have her boobies right on her face.
Well, let me tell you, I'd want a paper bag on their face.
Well, I want a knuckle sandwich on that man's face. That's what I like. But they love Sue. Does Sue have a last name, or was she just Sue?
Just Sue.
Well, she went and they said, "Whoa, Melly." And they say, "What's your age and your name and your measurements?" What was the measurements?
Didn't say.
They probably need
I'm
to get her
Sue.
some slippers. They need her shoe size.
Just said I'm Sue, and then they played it over and over a bunch of times.
And then they just
And then the guy that ate all the shrimp, he was like, "Wow, you're gonna be on my show." And she's like, "Oh, but my mom's sick, and I gotta take care of her."
Well, that was
2 weeks.
That was nice of the man. She
like,
said
yeah,
she needed
you can do it, and he looks like his breath smells bad.
Because the young and the old ladies, they needed to switch every 7 days. So you have Sue on Tuesday and Sue on Monday and Sue on Wednesday, Sue on Thursday, Sue on Friday, Sue on Saturday, but then it's Elizabeth on Sunday and Elizabeth on
Well, I don't know why you'd ever want to do that, because you can't go on vacation. How'd you ever go on vacation? You have to go... I guess you
could have a little short trip for
you could take the flare. You could take the flare Sunday to Sunday.
Flare and go down
Orlando.
to Epcot.
Yeah,
go down to Epcot.
She could do that.
Not a sponsor.
But he let her have. She did tell a fib about having to take care of her sick mom. So that's a little no.
Well, that comes back.
But
that comes back to bite her.
You can't go to the shrimp man and say, "Hey, I need to go and swap with a different version of my body you can't.
She could have.
You can't. Honesty is the best policy.
Yeah,
it is.
I bet if she would have told the truth right from the start, that the shrimp man would have been like, "Well, that's okay. We've all got our cross to bear there, Sue. And I think that if you keep on smiling and just take good care of your mom and come back and see us in a week, I think that he would have understood."
He was very accommodating.
It would have been fine.
And when he didn't have shrimp all over his face, he was a little handsome. And but she got the part, and they said, "Sue, you need to take that bathing suit that you brought with you, and let's have a photo." And they did the show, and then Sue had her own dancing around and shaking her bum and boobs for exercise on TV.
I found that it was a very racy exercise. Now, I don't know if that's what you were thinking, but I thought that. I thought that it was really
they zoom right in on her bum. Zooming right in on the other parts.
And there was boy dancers in the back. Notice that, because I don't think that when she was Demi Moore, I don't think that was going on. And that's okay. I'm not trying to say there's nothing wrong with being a boy dancer. I'm just saying it's something that I noticed.
Boys can... Jonathan, are you a dancer? Do you like to dance? Can you dance?
You dance?
No, I prefer not.
He's embarrassed
sometimes.
a little bit.
Why doesn't he dance? I bet he
I see him at
Take your wife out dancing.
At his cousin's wedding.
Take your wife out dancing.
He was just sitting off at the table with a sour puss on his face.
Oh my gosh!
Instead of his poor wife wanted to dance, but old Jonathan sour puss over in the corner.
She's a saint. That wife of his.
She sure is.
God, she puts up with.
But he's a good catch too, though. He's my favorite great nephew.
Thank you.
Right this
I'm
time.
Glad.
But yeah, I don't. Sue's show was. I guess more people liked it, and but she came to work one day and everything was all in the dark, and she thought that she was gonna get fired again, but
nope.
they said no.
Said, guess what?
You're the best.
You're doing it.
We're canceling your show because you have to do one thing in 3 months.
No, they didn't cancel the show. They were just moving it up.
Oh, they moved.
I thought that they were doing a different filming time, because they're like, all right, well, we got to get ready for Christmas. Now, Edna, let me ask you this: why would they cancel the show?
Was it live on TV?
Well, I don't think it was, because I think they were filming the show. No, it wasn't, because later on she gets a lump on her bum.
Bums for the nighttime version.
They gotta get that. They gotta step their game up for nighttime. So she's getting out. Oh wait, we didn't even say the part. We didn't even say this part. Now let me tell you about this part.
What
Let me
part?
tell you this. So she goes out, right, with her friends. She's going out. It's Saturday night, so you gotta, she's supposed to change.
Day 7.
She goes out. She comes back with this guy, and she's over her time.
Man.
First friggin' week. She's over her time already.
She got a nosebleed because it
gets a nosebleed. Goes
every
in,
7 days you
tells
got
to me
switch.
more. Oh, I'm just gonna take a little scooch off you there, and so she does that, and then the guy unzips her coat, and her
back guts fall out.
Yeah, all her guts falling right out the back. She had her intestines come out and her bladder and all that stuff just came right out the back. So I'm here wondering, why'd you let him unzip your coat?
Yeah,
but she did anyway. But then, do you think that part was a dream? Because she wakes up not too long after that.
She switched back after, and she didn't have a hole in her back. So I think there was some dreams in the movie. Sometimes some things happen, and then everybody disappears. I gotta say this,
and maybe I'm getting old fashioned, but sometimes when you're watching a movie and then they do a dream in the movie, and then you're like, they're not being clear all the time about when you're having a dream and when you're having a watch of the movie or the real plot.
On the bottom,
it should say this is a dream, or
should around the edge, the clouds, bling, bling, clouds around the edge.
Yeah, do like a dream so we know. I find that so confusing.
Wave.
I find that so confusing. And then I'm spending the last half of the movie like, what the hell's going on? I don't even know what I'm doing. I gotta be honest with you, Edna. I didn't take a whole lot of notes because half the time I wasn't really sure what I was looking at.
I got some. We was pumping up. Sue knows how to do lots of things. She knew how to sew up the back. She was like, oh, you know what? I need to make a secret closet in my bathroom.
Oh, yeah,
I can do that. I can do that. Jonathan, could you right now, if we had to, could you make a secret closet in your bathroom?
No. I'll hire somebody.
He had to get his friend to do
something that you should
call it in his bathroom. He got his friend there to do the fan in the bathroom.
You got the fan in there now.
So
Ogden Electric.
We don't need to hear anybody's noises in the bathroom and all that flaky paint up on the ceiling.
Oh, that's a right mess. Jonathan Hun, you got to get that fixed.
I'm gonna scrape
that's
it.
That's a right
paint.
mess in that bathroom.
No offense.
Having
the mold.
No offense.
One step at a time.
But she made a little closet to put Elizabeth in, and Elizabeth can put Sue in it. It just click right on there.
Just close that door
smart.
right up.
They put a little vent in the bottom. But then she took an extra day, and Elizabeth Sparkles, she woke up and her finger was all yuck, and her fingernails all yellow, and she called customer service, and they didn't help.
What? Sometimes your finger gets rotten.
They said no.
Smarten up.
It's tough. That's the breaks.
You got a rotten fingers.
You get a rotten finger, and then Elizabeth is
lucky
upset.
It's not your foot.
My fingers don't look. They're and every now and
then
lovely.
They're lovely.
Got a little spots.
They're lovely fingers, Edna.
But that's scary to wake up and your finger, and you call and they don't help, and. But she decides she finds Fred's old dirty phone number from 10th grade in her purse, and she calls him up, and she gets all, because the man in the diner who was the old egg of the nurse
man, but now he's when he's being a nurse, that's how you can tell, because he had a little thing on his hand.
He was being mean to her.
And when he was an old man, he was old, mean, old mean. When he was a young man, he was a nurse.
Well, he was saying that he's lonely, and Elizabeth, she said, "I'm not lonely. I've got my best friend Fred from 10th grade."
Mm-hmm. So she gives him a call.
She called him up, and Fred was so excited to be getting a phone call from a movie star. She was on the butt shaking show.
This part was making me sad because she's getting ready and she's looking and she's like, "Oh gosh, I got a wrinkle in my cleavage." Not to be crass, but that's, she's thinking it.
I was okay
and
with it.
that's part, that's true. That happens. You're getting dressed and you're like, oh gosh, I wouldn't
be wearing that dress.
Well, I'm just saying, it's just an example, Edna, because sometimes I'm getting dressed, go out, and I'm like, oh wow, look at that. That's not good. And I'm looking at my own face, though you can't do much about that. So you're trying to get ready, and she looked beautiful. Demi Moore's beautiful. If she thinks she's ugly, I don't know what chance I got. But she's rubbing her face
getting
all her makeup all freaked up, getting her hair all freaked everywhere. Up. And then she didn't even go. And the poor fella, he's texting her, and he's like, "Wow, movie time. Are you all right there, Dolly? Are you coming?"
No,
and she just ghosted. She friggin' ghosted. And you don't even hear nothing again. He's sitting at
Luigi's by
Luigi's, and he's eating his Mangionis, and they don't even talk about him no more. And that part made me feel real sad.
She just stayed home and ate a big chicken.
And that's the part that I really relate to, because sometimes you feel bad about yourself, and you go to superstores and you get one of those chickens, and you can get a Polynesian one or a barbecue one.
That's too spicy.
Or what's the other one there? I don't know. I don't remember. But you can.
I just want a plain bird.
And you get a plain bird. You're too funny. And so you get that roaster chicken. They're $12 now.
12? That's a sin.
I can't even.
That's a sin.
It is a sin. I don't even believe in that. So anyways, I related to that the most out of that whole movie. You go, you feel bad, you feel like you're ugly, so you go home, you watch TV, and you eat a roaster chicken. That's the realest thing I ever seen in my life.
You're a beautiful woman,
thank
too.
you, Edna. I appreciate that. But sometimes you just gotta stay home and eat a whole rotisserie chicken from the superstores.
Yeah, but then that you can't eat a big chicken with no consequences. So Sue was shaking her butt on the TV, and the little chicken leg popped out of her butt.
Right out of her butt. Well, okay, yeah. So that comes out, right? Like, just makes like a lump on her butt. But then it comes out of her friggin' belly button.
But everybody's like, wait a minute, we think we saw a chicken come out of your butt. Let's watch it on the big screen in front of everybody.
They don't address that.
It's bad enough if a chicken pops out of your butt, but to have it
Imagine
up on...
that, frame by frame, they're
Jonathan,
doing it.
don't you dare put a chicken out of the butt on the big TV up there.
Don't you dare do it.
In the middle.
And then she pulled the chicken out of her belly button, and then that seems like Edna? It would leave a hole.
Well, my mother, when I was a little girl, she said, "Taffy."
Out of her belly button?
No, just about. She said, "Taffy, don't pick at your belly button because you'll turn inside out." And I think she told me that so that I wouldn't pick at it and a chicken leg come out of it.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're starving and you're in the woods, you can get the chicken leg out of your belly.
Not even then.
It's an emergency.
Not even then, because then a bear's gonna smell it. A bear's gonna smell that. So don't do it.
But you can't be on the big New Year's Eve show with a chicken out of your butt or your belly button or your belly button.
Can't imagine that.
So she keeps Sue. Sue gets mad about the chicken, and Elizabeth gets mad about her
making her have a rotten finger,
scary witch
rotten
body,
finger, rotten foot.
Her foot's going all crazy. Then she opens up the nice present from the boss about French cuisine, and as Elizabeth starts to be productive and channel and in her next phase of life, she's having I'm gonna cook up some French stuff. She ate it all, and
she makes her own chicken instead of going to superstores.
And she's
that's how you save money.
Splashing eggs all over her face using that beater.
And then instead of a chicken coming out of a bum
on TV,
she's reaching in a chicken's bum, pulling that out. See that part?
Yeah, she's right up in that chicken, and they're going back and forth between the chicken and Sue. It's lots of gross splashing.
Yeah, it took a turn. Started to take a turn at this part. Lots of googie goo.
Well, Sue, she's taking extra spine goo out, and she's taking more and more.
They
and
told her not to do that right from the start.
She gets to the bottom of the barrel, and it's just some
sludge
black
sludge
coming out,
yep.
and she doesn't like that, and then it fast forward, and she's taking all of her goo, but then she gets a big nosebleed again, and she doesn't have any more back goo to get, and she calls the number, and they're rude.
They're like, too bad, told ya.
They're rude. And
figure around and find out. That's what they said. And then she was finding out. They
switch back, and Elizabeth Sparkle's got a big old hunchback, and all her hair fall out, and she's all knobby. She's tripping over her boobies. They're all hanging down and falling on the floor.
Feet are all weird.
And there was a couple of times where, after the finger and after the foot, Elizabeth could have been like, no, that's enough, but she kept going. She didn't. She was mad at Sue, but she liked to be. I think she gets to be Sue, sort of.
Well,
it doesn't.
We don't know.
And
they didn't really explain that part.
But she decided to do it, and they sent her another needle with a different kind of black goo to put into Sue, but she put all of it except for this little last bit.
Couldn't do it.
She was like, "Oh, my dream is to shake my butt on the New Year's Eve show
night."
The big New Year's Eve. I thought the big New Year's Eve show was out in Times Square.
No,
in the big ball. It's in a small theater, and there's topless dancers.
Topless dancers.
That's the highest rated
number
TV
one
show.
People love it.
When did this? Is this? When
just in the time.
2024.
And so she comes out, but then she changes her. She's squirting the black goo into Sue, and then she says, "No, Sue, no," and she tries to save her, but then we get Sue and Elizabeth together.
She punches her right in the head, knocks her in the head, kicking her.
They had a real smash around.
Yeah, Sue just did a real number on old Sparkles.
And old Sparkles, she could barely stand up a little while ago, but now she's getting smashed into a wall, and then she gets up and she just runs. She's running away.
Yeah.
And Sue, she has the strength of one of those superhero movies. Every punch, she just
right into the wall,
right into the wall, smashing and just beating her and smashing her and punching her in the face, and there's blood everywhere. And then she goes for the leftover Mountain Dew or the Gatorade.
Yeah, because she's like, didn't something else?
Well, she went
to
get ready for New Year's Eve, and
went
her
to
teeth.
The show. Teeth fell out.
One tooth fell out, but then she pulled on the second one, and that fell out.
And then her fingernail.
I would have stopped pulling after the second one.
I probably would have too, but
then she pulled out the third tooth.
Sometimes you want to make sure. Another thing is, we already know sometimes they do a dream and it's not a real thing.
Might be a dream.
So maybe that's why she was trying it, but then turns out, not a dream. Your teeth's out.
But
her fingernail comes off, and at this point, I couldn't write after that because my hand was shaking after those fingernails falling out. So she gets home, and she's like, well, what if I do the thing where someone comes out of your back?
Old flat Mountain Dew at the bottom of the bottle.
She does that. And then I don't really understand what happened after that.
She wants a new, better version of Sue. I thought maybe like a little toddler Sue might pop out.
That's not what happened.
Like the younger one, but
not what happened.
No, it was a big. They put a big words on the screen. Monstro Eliza Sue.
Oh, that thing. Never seen the like of that in my whole life.
And it's got Elizabeth's face sticking out of her back. She's all screaming, and little boobie hanging down, and
it's got all kinds of crazy stuff. Dragging a placenta thing.
But if
got that dress on,
if I woke up as a big gooby monster, I'd be like, well, that's it for my plans tonight. But
no, not Sparkle Sue.
She's got to get ready for the big show.
And she goes, show must go on. That's what they say.
I got clip-on earrings because I don't like to have the hole go through. She just
that hole wherever.
Stuffing them into the side of her head.
Eye. Right, she's got another eye winking up there.
And then she ripped out the picture of Elizabeth and put her face
right on her face
and went but Elizabeth wasn't supposed to be on the show, so why did
not too sure about
Elizabeth,
that because they didn't seem to be too perturbed.
They were like, oh, hey, you're late, no problem, come on in.
Yeah,
you look just like we thought you would.
Yeah, don't know why that happened.
But then everybody was cheering in the hall. But then they disappeared in the hallway. Yeah. So that might have been she might have stopped for a minute to have a little dream.
Maybe didn't even think of that.
And then
when I'm watching a movie, I'm just watching the movie. You know what I mean? I'm not thinking about what kind of parts am I supposed to be thinking about?
And a little
yeah. If you're supposed to be having a dream in the movie, like you better start making it a freaking dream in the movie.
Put a thing
or
on.
show. Here's what you could do, right? You could have the part, right, and then down here she's in the bed, right, and she's got a little like cloud going up.
Or just like a little, like how Jonathan is in the little corner here, have a little box of.
He's right there.
But when you watch the show on the YouTubes, he's
doing that?
He's in a little box. You could have all monster like, hey, it's time for New Year's, but have Sue little sleeping in the corner.
I'm gonna be sleeping in the corner in a minute.
But she comes out with and all the ladies that have their boobs out are like, hey, she's only got one boob out. So what's the matter with this one? And she comes out and everybody seems okay, but then her paper face falls off and everyone's
that's the point where people are like, oh, something's not right here.
That's the first time everything was up to snuff right before this. And
she's going like,
and then everybody starts screaming and yelling and she squeezed an extra little boob that just fell out of her head.
Yeah, came right out the side of her head.
Little boob baby.
I never seen the like of any of this in my whole life.
Baby falls out and everybody starts screaming.
And then it's just like, it doesn't even make sense. I couldn't even write it down.
How did her head explode?
I don't even know.
Somebody shoot her?
Someone shoot her in the head.
Why did they have a gun? Did he punch? So her
they all got guns.
Head explodes.
They all got guns there.
She's spraying blood in the audience, and everybody's screaming. All the
girls crying.
All the board meeting men are like, "Hey, this is Shrimp Boy. This is not a successful New Year's Eve show.
No, they're like, what the heck is this?
This is going to really hurt us in our portfolios."
No more shrimp for you.
When we have the little easel with the graph, it's going to be going straight down, and but there's going to be blood all over it, and you might not even be able to see the line.
See it.
And then she's spraying blood and falling apart, and then she goes outside and she
just dragging,
just falls down and explodes, and then
it's her face,
and then Elizabeth Sparkles is still just her face blob just crawls out and just onto her star, and it melts.
And then she gets sparkles on her.
Call back.
Because that's Elizabeth Sparkles, so she gets sparkles. And then she just goes away, and then a guy comes by on a Zamboni, and then that's the end of the movie.
He cleans it.
So I never saw the like of that. That's the craziest thing I ever saw in my whole life.
This movie made me feel kind of bad about being a lady of a certain age, and it's not a happy ending.
Because it's not really something you can help.
It's not like they were like, well, she learned her lesson and everything's okay now.
No, she just was goofy.
It's just she melted, and
so I think the moral of the story is you should be happy with what you got, and don't worry about what other people have got, And if the show must go on, even if your teeth fall out.
No, if a boob falls out of your forehead, the show's over. That's the end of that.
See, I got the show must go on.
If I'm doing this show and a boobie falls out of my forehead, we can wrap it up.
I don't know if we can put that on.
We'll get good.
I don't know. Well, Jonathan could cut that right out, I think.
Yeah,
probably.
You could do some
It might have even happened, Joe. You wouldn't know.
Maybe.
We keep that in.
Well, that's what, I had to get my hair done because the boob came out of my head and messed up my hair.
It's underneath.
Yeah, I didn't like this movie. The what? Can we? The last.
I don't understand why he's making us watch these movies. I want to watch Moana 2. Moana 2. You've Got Mail. That's a good movie.
I don't know that one. I like to get the mail. The mailman.
Titanic. We could watch that.
Titanic is good. There's boobies in that one though. I think that's not
hard to get around. You can get an edit copy. There's copies with that part taken out. Yeah,
I think we got the double tape.
Then that's probably got it in it. They need more tape because you got to get the.
But did you like this? I didn't like this movie.
Well,
it was
I don't
gross.
even know what was going on. I don't know if I liked it or I didn't.
Butts and needles and sewing.
I spent a lot of the time petting the cat because I was like, geez, and jumping Murphy. I don't know what's going on in this.
Her eyeballs split in half. It's not good. Oh,
I liked it better the first time.
Talk about your little skits. Okay.
Yeah, so we probably don't need the trailer going in the corner anyway. Yes, thank you, Edna. My little skits coming up on Saturday, February 22nd at Wasted Day Brewing is the next iteration of No Jokes Barred. Who's on that? I'm sure I've got it in here somewhere. We've got Fiona Kidd making her No Jokes Barred debut. Jason Gauntz, first time doing a full set. Arif Hussein, fan favorite. Liam McNamara. Chris Thumper Legier. Jacob Tobias. Matt Richardson's coming down from the Miramichi. And the mayor of comedy and the man who installed my bathroom fan, Shane Ogden, will be there. Oh, I've got some other stuff I should probably mention too. The weekend after, Saturday, March 1st, I will be making my headline debut at the Comic Sutra Comedy Club on the north side of Fredericton. Looking forward to that. I see a reminder here about when I need to cancel my movie subscription. What else? This is a ways down the road, but I'm doing a show with Bad Words for a Good Cause on Saturday, April 19th. So check out that stuff and, find me on the internet. John Forward Comedy. Ladies.
Well, he just said we need to go. He goes up and he's maybe did this happen at one of those comedy shows?
No, it's a used microphone.
This is how many
right at the bar.
How many times they laughed in the show?
Okay, yes.
Sometimes
he talked about that before.
62,262 times.
That's a lot of laughs.
Maybe that's a lot. Maybe that's total over 13 years.
His show goes on.
It does.
Career
It never came out of his head, not even once.
No, but it's a good thing. If you're worried that at Jonathan's little shows, there's no boobs falling out of a head.
Not yet.
And so
if it hasn't happened now, probably won't.
I didn't like this movie, but as always, I like spending time with my friend Taffy.
Edna, that's nice.
Me
too. That's why I come over.
My great nephew Jonathan. He usually doesn't like to visit unless we're doing it. But I like to see him and see how he's doing and. It's a nice time, and
I like when he brings his cat over.
Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
The cat lives here.
Laszlo. He's a little sweetie.
His name's Larry, isn't it?
Laszlo.
What kind of a name is that?
I don't know. He's the last one was Tachikoma. Some crazy name.
You ever heard of Mittens? You ever heard of Stripes?
So what happened to TT?
He's not with us anymore.
Yeah, he did. Did you try putting the little green juice in Touchy, and he could have had a little monster Touchy? He could have had a boob fall out of his head. Is Laszlo gonna have a boob fall out of his head?
Laszlo's a boy.
Well, that didn't happen till she did it again.
Okay, no double juicing. Just one. That's juice.
The moral of the story.
Do you think everything would have been okay if she just followed the rules?
Don't double dip.
If she just did it and they switched every 7 days, everything would have been.
Follow the rules.
We already talked
if you're gonna take a crazy green drug, you gotta follow there's only 3 words on the instructions. There's not a lot to follow.
The whole thing kind of sucks, and if I can use bad language on the internet.
These movies are having a bad influence on us.
Yeah, it's moving. Yeah, it is. I think that's making me into
we're repeating ourselves.
Toilet mouth.
A little
bit. I don't think it'd be too good because then every time you go out Saturday, you got to be thinking, oh, geez, I got to be home. I don't know what time the switchover is. Midnight, I guess, when it turns into Sunday. So then you always got to be home. You got to be thinking that's your whole weekend.
Jonathan, don't be rude. I guess he wants us to finish up and say this is.
Can you give me a drive home?
Yeah.
Can you? He's okay.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right.
See, he's sweet.
Well, he is.
So this is Golden Fears, and my name is Edna Fairweather.
My name's Taffy.
This is Taffy, and this is Jonathan.
Thank you, Jonathan.
He's
a good boy.
He's
a good boy. I'm just cranky.
We have to.
Oh, we have to leave.
We're wrapping.
Get up.
All right.